On July 8th, 2014, it was announced that Cleveland would host the 2016 Republican National Convention.
You know, I want to not only thank the team that we have assembled here, but also want to thank the chairman of the Republican Party and the chairman of the Site Selection Committee for their visiting us, the due diligence that they did, and really them getting the message that we really wanted this convention here. What this demonstrates is that whenever we come together as a community, we're successful. No matter what the issue is or whatever the challenges are, whenever we come together as a community with a purpose of putting Cleveland first, we've always been successful.
In the 2 years leading up to the big event, there has been so much anticipation, growth, and change in the city. New hotels have been built. Restaurants and businesses have opened. Our airports have been upgraded. And even Public Square underwent a $50 million makeover, all before the convention came to town.
There's certain things that we've done specifically and we'll continue to do as we lead up to having the convention. One of the things that we're doing is we have a committee, we call it the 2016 Special Events Committee, and that committee is specifically designed to ensure expedited and maybe in terms of permitting to make things happen in a way that is really smooth. So we want to make sure and ensure that as things are needed from government, as things are needed in terms of partnership with other external entities, that this special event committee will work and meet on a regular basis to ensure that things are streamlined and to ensure that things are going according to plan, so that when the major event happens in 2016, again, that is successful for both the party and for the city of Cleveland.
The city became electric. Visitors came to support the Republican Party, cover the convention, and to visit Cleveland, some for the very first time. The Cleveland 2016 Host Committee held a welcome party at North Coast Harbor for delegates and media to get a taste of what our city has to offer. With food and drinks provided by some of Cleveland's top restaurants and food trucks, music from local artists, free admission in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Science Center, and beautiful views of Lake Erie. So is this your first time being at a RNC convention?
No, this is my second time. I was a delegate to Tampa 4 years ago.
And so what are you hoping to get out of the Cleveland experience as opposed to when you were in Tampa?
Well, obviously Cleveland is in Tampa, so it's a different flavor altogether. So that's always fun. I like to travel and see new places. As far as the convention itself, it's going to be a very different convention than 4 years ago.
And how so?
Well, clearly with the Trump thing, I mean, that's going to be a huge thing. It could be very historical in a sense. I mean, this is the first time really somebody's done what Trump has done and get the nomination.
Definitely. Now with Cleveland, have you been here before?
I've driven through here before. I've never actually stopped here before.
And your experience so far?
So far, I mean, I've only been here today, but so far it's been great. And this is really a cool place. I mean, I've never been here before. Went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so my son is going to be very happy with me.
And what are you hoping to get to see or experience while you are here in town?
Well, you know, there's so much to do here. I didn't even realize until I found out. I didn't know you had the First Ladies Museum near here. Of course, I knew about the National Football Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So really, there's a lot of cool stuff here. I mean, I knew about some of those things, but there's a lot of stuff we're going to get to do. I'm looking forward. We're doing a boat cruise one night, so that'll be fun out here on the lake.
It's been a great thing for Cleveland. Cleveland's at such a good time in our history where there's so much development happening. There's cranes going up. There's new hotels downtown. We have a new convention center. We're reinventing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All this great development. At the same time, we have 15,000 media people coming from around the world to see this, and it's just a great time for us to shine. We're happy to bring people down here from left and right to really celebrate what Cleveland is and start this party, because it is going to be a wonderful thing for Cleveland. There's 50,000 people, I think they said, coming into town. So that's just a wonderful thing in terms of the number of events, the number of parties, the number of people just coming into town to see our city and walk away as ambassadors. So in the short term, it's like a huge economic win for us. But long term, I think the benefit is going to be all these people having a great experience in Cleveland and walking away as ambassadors and, you know, telling their friends and telling their co-workers and all the people in their circles what a great city it is. So we're incredibly excited about it. It's been great. You know, for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we'll have 40 events in the next 4 days. There'll be people from all over the world, certainly across the country. There's more than half of the state delegations are going to be coming through the Rock and Roll already scheduled. But then, you know, we'll have a lot of different kinds of people that we're really trying to bring people together. So, you know, Governor Kasich is doing an event here. That's fantastic. We're happy to have him, and of course, he's been a great supporter of the museum. The American Unity Fund is coming on Wednesday morning. It looks like we'll do some other things with, you know, organizations like Rock the Vote and different. So it's a lot of people from a lot of different perspectives all coming together. And just like the music we celebrate, we're saying, bring it here. We want to bring different people together, talk about it, welcome everyone in, and hopefully facilitate some conversations.
And the Rock Hall is actually going to be free to the public as well during this week, correct?
Yeah, it's great. So from 10 to 3, every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be free to the public. AT&T has been such a great supporter of the city, but also the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're making that available so people can come down, enjoy the museum, and hopefully that makes it really easy for the locals that want to come down, but also for the out-of-towners to make it, you know, if they only have 15 minutes, they can come down and see it and walk away with a good experience.
Megan, let us know what it's like for you to be participating in this welcome event. You're getting to welcome the RNC here.
It's incredible. I mean, I never thought I'd be here tonight, and I'm so glad it's finally here. It's great for Cleveland, regardless of politics. I'm excited it's here. I'm excited for this week to kick off and to play music tonight.
And how can people find your music and get to see you live?
At meganzerke.com.
What are you hoping to experience or try while you're here in Cleveland, our great city?
This is a great experience. I never thought Cleveland has even a harbor, and this is pretty cool to see nice weather in the harbor, and I'm going to go around. I think there are some golfing outs, and there are lunch outs, there are restaurants too, hosting some lunches and dinners, and allowed to go around downtown, and there are museums going around. It's a great city to have a convention like this, and we are very happy to be here. This is a historical convention for Indiana because our governor, Mike Pence, is a vice presidential candidate in this convention. So it's a very historical for Indiana.
Being a Cleveland restaurant owner, how has this been leading up to the big RNC coming in, and what are you hoping for with so many people coming in from all over?
Just recognition. It's just nice to get these people from all around the country and the world into our city to see what a great city Cleveland is, because a lot of people, you know, underappreciate us.
What's the number one thing you hope people take away from their experience here in Cleveland for RNC?
What a beautiful city this is.
To show the community and visitors their appreciation throughout the convention week, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame offered free admission. For many, it was the first time seeing the legendary museum and its artifacts in person. We asked a few of the visitors about their experience at the Rock Hall and in Cleveland.
So now, what do you think as Clevelanders of the RNC being here in town?
I think it's really good for the city.
They did a really fantastic job. It looks great.
Cleaned it up. You know, I noticed they picked up all the litter and stuff. I mean, that's the first thing I noticed, especially coming on the rapid. I really like that. It's the first thing, because I don't litter. You know what I mean?
And having all these people in from all over the world must be really exciting, too.
Oh, yeah.
They really put on the map, didn't they?
Really did.
We have a nice city.
So I'll tell you one thing. Cleveland is a beautiful city, and first thing I can tell you is everyone here has been spectacular, nice, and really, really been very, very great hosts for the convention here.
So now you're here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum. What has this experience been like for you?
Well, it's incredible because, I mean, growing up with all these bands and seeing all the different things and seeing how the evolution of the music industry has gone from basically the 8-track downstairs to the iPod and to all the other things that are happening. It's a great experience to be able to see that history is really being kept. And so mostly that younger people that have never seen a vinyl record, some of them, now get to see not only vinyl records, but they can see what really music was all about.
Steve, welcome to Cleveland. What's your experience been like in the city so far?
It's been great. People are really friendly. I'm here for the convention, and I was a little concerned about the protests and everything, but the Cleveland police have been great, and feel very safe and secure. So it's a great town. My first time in Cleveland.
Oh, great. And so then you're also your first time here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum.
It is. It's awesome. I mean, just seeing some of the stuff in the Beatles, Elvis Presley. I mean, this is just history here. It's been really neat seeing it so far.
And you said it was one of the top things you wanted to make sure you got to do here. Anything else on your list?
Really just kind of explore downtown, really going to the convention a lot, but just kind of explore downtown and just check out, Lake Erie and everything. And it's and just kind of admire the beauty. First time here, so hopefully I'll be back again.
Now, when they first announced that the RNC would be here in Cleveland, what was your reaction?
I said, hey, cool. I've never been, so I'll go. Get the tickets and let's go. So, but Ohio is a key state, obviously politically. So I think it was a smart move by them, and hopefully it's great for Cleveland too. You get a lot of folks coming from all across the country and experiencing Cleveland, and hopefully they'll be back. I'm sure they will.
And hopefully you'll be back as well.
Definitely will.
Leading up to the RNC, there were concerns over our safety. But as the 4 days unfolded, we saw a park filled with demonstrators calmly acting out their First Amendment rights. Police on hand to make sure everyone was protected, and media from all over the globe documenting the moments. Mayor Frank Jackson, Police Chief Calvin Williams, and other city and safety personnel continuously kept us informed on the state of our city. By the end of the convention, there was nothing but praise for our community and its leaders for a job well done.
I was an airline pilot, I was in the Navy, so I've traveled around the country. In fact, I've been to every state. So I've had a chance to see a lot of places, and I'm just going to tell you that the people of Cleveland have been extremely friendly. You can tell the pride they feel in their community. I know you just had a championship basketball team, so that's pretty evident. But, the Cleveland Indian Stadium, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I would have never come here on my own. But having seen it, I posted something. This is something you got to see. I wasn't a huge fan of Elvis Presley. I liked him. I sat there for an hour watching and listening to Elvis Presley because I was so taken by this museum. It's incredible. I would recommend it to anybody. The city's clean. You can tell the old and the new. It's mixed in. But even the old buildings, that go back into the 1800s, have all been cleaned, and they're old, but they don't show that age. They don't look as if they're 100 plus years old. The river's clean. The lake is clean. We took that scenic train ride. I forget what it's called now, but
The Cuyahoga Valley?
Yeah, exactly. And that was clean. You could see the waterway, the river along the way. You guys have done a great job. I asked a guy last night, a cop, I said, is this all worth it? I don't know what you spent to pull this off. And you've got over 20,000 people here, but you've done just an immaculate job on really making people feel warm and welcome. So you got to feel proud.
People ask me about success and things, and I said, well, we had three measures of success here. One is that we were able to allow the Republican Party to put on a successful convention. What happened in terms of their internal politics is them, but we needed to allow them to put on that convention, and they did put it on. That we wanted it to be safe and secure. The convention itself in the city to citizens, visitors, delegates, police officers, demonstrators, protesters, all those who were part of it. We wanted that. And then the third thing we wanted was to have it said that after we finished that Cleveland would be the model as to how you put on an event of this nature, and that internationally Cleveland would have an exposure that would put us in the forefront.
I know I'm going to forget somebody, so I'm not going to thank everybody, but our community showed up. There are a lot of people out there from Cleveland, from the surrounding areas that thanked officers, that thanked me day in and day out, that kind of said, this is great, this is how Cleveland should be. We're showing the world that we're not the way people think we are. So, for our citizens here in Cleveland and around Northeast Ohio, thank you guys, thank you. The protesters, like the mayor said, there were a couple groups that got a little sideways, but the other groups came, did what they wanted to do as far as First or Second Amendment. I think they had a great time doing it, and then they went on about their business. So, we appreciate that. You don't pull off something like this without a little bit of luck and a lot of prayers. And, I could say probably 100 times a day, people would come up to me and officers out there saying, we're praying for you guys. Hang in there, you're doing a great job. And we got prayers from all over the country, and we appreciate that. I'm going to end right there. As the mayor stated, there are a lot of people that doubted us. Don't doubt Cleveland. People doubted the Cavs. Don't doubt Cleveland. People doubted that we could have a successful championship celebration. Don't doubt Cleveland. People doubted that we can successfully handle 1.3 million people downtown celebrating the Cavs' victory. Don't doubt Cleveland. Thanks.